Okay. Good evening, everyone. Thanks for coming out in the cold. I'm going to call the meeting of January 27th, 2026 to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing so we can have a moment of silence for those who have served and continue to serve. Thank you very much. Please be seated. I just also want to point out the emergency exits behind me to the right and down the hall all the way down at the end. So again, welcome everybody to the meeting. It's pretty cold out, so I appreciate you guys coming out this evening. Just a couple of things. I just wanted to let everybody know that I had the best experience this weekend. I got to go into the tow truck with Kevin. I'm sorry, not the tow truck, the plow truck with Kevin. And it's a whole new experience. And I actually think that every single board member should do that, because I never thought that it would be what it was. It was exciting, but nervous at times. You know, it was great, but just being up there, I think it was a wonderful experience, and it gives you a whole new, you know, view of what they do. So I just wanted to thank all of them for doing what they do. And I can't imagine what it must be like at night. So that's all I have to say, and I never want to know that, because during the day was great. So thank you to all of them. Again, I'm glad you all survived the snow, and let's hope that we get no more. All right, at this time, I just wanted to bring David Ruger. He is actually from Troop 3086 of the Boy Scouts, and he had come to me last week, a couple of weeks ago, and he wanted to discuss something that, you know, he would maybe like to help take on for the town of Beekman.
Hello, I'm David Ruger, and I would like to talk about the illegal dumping happening that I see a lot when I'm going to the store or to school. I see people leaving tables, desks, and even cars on the side of 216 and Depot Hill Road. I'd like to know what can be done about this.
Okay, I appreciate you coming here. And again, like we had discussed, I think that going forward, that I think maybe yourself and your Boy Scout troop, we can get something together with the highway department, trying to figure out, you know, maybe a cleanup day, or, you know, just brainstorm and see what we can come up with, maybe where we can have maybe a drop-off center somewhere, maybe at the highway department, where people wouldn't leave the, you know, those items on the side of the street. But it's definitely something that I think that we should talk about, and I appreciate you coming here and for your concern. All right, next we have our District 22 County Legislator, Joe Tresca.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Joseph Tresca. I'm your county legislator for Beekman and Unionvale. I just wanted to give you a short little update on what's been going on. At the county, the probation department got a new director, Allison Gaffney. She started with the county in 2009, and she brings 30 years of experience to the position. So everything I've seen says she's going to be a good fit. Something else, the Arts, Mid-Hudson and New York State Council on the Arts sent me a arts program grant that's going to be going on. And the Beekman Library is actually going to be eligible for that grant. So I spoke with Carol and got her all the information she's going to need, and she said she is going to apply and hopefully get the grant, which would bring new art programs to the library itself. And the last thing for tonight is me and Supervisor Abatantuano have been speaking about what other programs are available as far as how to expand housing in Beekman. We heard a lot of concerns from our senior community who want to downsize but don't have the ability because of the availability and the pricing and other factors. Hudson River Housing has a program called the ADU Plus One program, and basically it's a grant program that you have to apply for as a homeowner, and you can get up to $125,000, which you can use to update an ADU that you have existing or to create a new one, which would create living space for people that are in need. And it also generates some capital for the homeowner as well. Being that me and Laureen were just sworn in on January 5th, the program actually started on January 5th, and it was something that would have had to been applied for back in 2025. So moving forward at the end of this year, I'm going to be in touch with Hudson River Housing once again to see if we can get Beekman and find out the eligibility and sit down with all of you and try to get that moving forward. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Joe. I look forward to working with you, and thank you for all that you've done so far. So I appreciate you. Thank you. Okay, at this time, I'm going to acknowledge the minutes from January 5th and January 13th of 2026. Thank you, Alicia. Any public comments on the agenda items? Okay, so we're going to move on to the resolutions. So at this time, for Resolution 12726, this is the appointment of the engineering services for the town of Beekman. We are going to table this one. I know this was on the agenda a couple of weeks ago. We had spoken to Hudson Land Design, who had given us their RFP. But what we want to do is do our due diligence, and we want to check with other engineering companies to make sure that, the prices are the same, and I think we owe it to the people of Beekman and the residents to get other RFPs as well to make sure. So we're going to table this resolution today, and we have a date. Kate, what was the date for the RFPs to come back?
Yes, we sent them out last Friday with the return date of February 6th.
Okay, so we have a meeting February 10th, I think, right? February 10th is our following meeting? Okay.
Yes.
So hopefully we can get it together for then. So as of right now, Hudson Land Design is working off their old contract. So we just wanted to keep everybody in the loop on that. And again, we're just trying to make sure that the rates are lined up with others.
What was asked for in the RFP? Was it for all services, for planning, zoning, everything, engineering?
Yes, so I asked them to provide the scope of services that they would offer for us, similar to the proposals that Dan has provided us in the past.
Okay, Kate, thank you. All right, so at this time, I'd like to make a motion to approve Resolution 12726-2. This is approving bond counsel services for the year of 2026. May I please get a second?
Second.
Thank you, Kate. Any discussion from the board? Okay, moving forward. Alicia, may I please get a roll call vote?
Councilwoman Warman.
Aye.
Councilman Capillari.
Aye.
Councilwoman Ragusa.
Aye.
Councilwoman Blake.
Aye.
Superintendent Abbott-Mutuano.
Aye.
Resolution.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, can I go back to number one? I had received the quotes that Dan had submitted. Were they made public so that other people that are submitting RFPs can see them?
The documents were put underneath the supplemental documents on the last resolution, which was, what was it?
So you're asking for RFPs when they know what they're RFPing against? I mean, an RFP is supposed to be...
Once again, Sharon, here we go again, just to let you know and to let everyone know, if this was a concern that you had, I did send this to you 4 days ago. I've reached out to you via email 3 days ago, 3 times. I've texted you to ask you if you had any questions, and now you want to discuss this at the dais after we took a roll call vote. So at this point, I think, should we move forward?
At 4 o'clock today from the secretary.
Yeah.
run the meeting, so you...
Yeah, I think at this point, I did ask you if you had questions prior, and you didn't answer, so we're going to move on to the next resolution.
Well, and the attorney's here, can I ask?
I'd like to
if
make a
you
motion.
If you have if you have documented someone's proposal to the town, and you go out for an RFP, now these people know what has been submitted, so they can undercut him by 50 cents. Is that allowable? I mean, RFP is everybody's supposed to be on an equal plane, correct?
I don't know where we put his.
Yes, so technically, typically, the town puts out the RFP, and then the bidders each respond with their
Correct.
proposition of services.
Correct.
So whether or not it puts Dan at a disadvantage, that depends on what engineering services go for in this general area. Again, the board still has the opportunity to review all the submissions and make a determination, not solely based on cost, but also on quality of service, length of service, how long the firm has been established. So there's a lot more things that go in rather than just if he undercuts by 50 cents. So is it I don't typically act doing RFPs. However, does it harm Dan? I don't believe so. Does it benefit the town? Possibly. That depends on what kind of submissions you receive afterwards. So at this time, I really can't tell.
I think it's a disadvantage. I mean, you put out an RFP,
Okay, but I also, again, I asked you 3 days ago if you had any questions, but you want to argue at the dais, and I'd like to move on with the meeting,
people
so.
want discussion. I'm giving you discussion.
Okay, but I did ask you before if you
I
had
didn't know
one.
it was tabled and you went out for an RFP. I just found that out
But we
right
already,
now.
we already went through there.
You just told me it was tabled because you went out for an RFP that was sent out on Friday, returns to be on February 6th. I just found that out. So
Well-
how could I comment on it if I just found out about it right now?
So again, Sharon, if you would have answered my email or you would have answered my call, we could have discussed the resolutions like I called Merson, and we could have had an adult conversation.
We are having an adult
Okay,
conversation.
well, I'm sorry, but I run the meeting,
I think
and
this
that's
is-
what,
Gestapo, fine. I think
It has
he's
nothing to
at
do with
a
being
disadvantage.
Gestapo. It has to do with running the meeting.
When you go out for an RFP, you go out for services. You don't say, okay, this guy has put this out, now I'm asking you
can I move on
companies
to
to
the
come up with
Proceed.
something.
okay, so at this time, I'm going to make a
Fine.
motion to approve Resolution 12726-3, which is authorizing the town clerk to advertise requests for bids for scrap metal. May I have a second, please?
I'll second that.
Thank you, Gina. Any town board discussion? Sharon, Merson, anyone? Okay, so moving forward, I would like to get a roll call vote, please, Alicia?
Councilwoman Warman,
Aye.
Councilman Cavallari,
Aye.
Councilwoman Ragusa,
Aye.
Councilwoman Blake,
Aye.
Supervisor Evans Antoine,
Aye,
resolution passes.
thank you. Okay, I'd like to make a motion to approve Resolution 12726-4, which is designating voting representatives to the MS4 Coordination Committee. And may I get a second, please?
Second.
Thank you, Kate. Any town board discussion? Okay, Merson, did you want to add anything as the MS4 committee member?
I've served as the voting member for the MS4 committee for the prior year and a half to 2 years. It's a great group of individuals. We do a lot of work in a pretty complicated segment of New York State rules and regulations. A lot of this is controlled by the DEC, the Department of Environmental Conservation, where we get our guidance from. And there's a committee of about, I think 20-some folks. We get together one Wednesday a month and discuss the latest and greatest from the DEC and try to formulate town policy around that, what the permitting structures are, and ultimately what the costs are going to be to the municipality, which can range anywhere from $150,000 to a couple of $1 million, depending on what the scope of work is. There's a lot of work that goes on behind the scenes. It's gratifying. It's stormwater, so it's not exciting, right? But it is the work that needs to be done, especially in a municipality like ours.
And I'm looking forward, I think we have that class right on February 11th.
Yeah.
So I know a few of us are going to go to that, so I'm excited about that to learn as well. Any other town board discussions? Alicia, may I please get a roll call vote?
Councilwoman Warman,
Aye.
Councilman Cavallari,
Can I vote for myself?
Should probably abstain, just
I'm going to abstain from that. Thank you.
There's no pecuniary.
I'll vote for Merson. Aye.
Councilman Abusa. Councilman Blake.
Aye.
Supervisor Evans Santuano.
I definitely vote for Merson. Thank you.
Resolution passed.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, at this time, I'd like to make a motion to approve Resolution 127-26-5, which is the appointment to the Planning Board. Eric is here with us today. May I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Gina. Any discussion from the board?
Yes, I'd like to, was this advertised?
Yes, it was.
Okay, thank you.
Any other comments?
Thank you for stepping up, Eric, and doing this kind of work. The planning board has probably one of the toughest jobs in our community. It's probably some of the most important work that's done in our community, and we appreciate the volunteer aspect of this, and they'll be a lot of fun. So thank you for that.
And he had a very impressive resume as well, and we had a nice conversation. So, all right. May I please get a roll call vote, Alicia?
Councilman Warman.
Aye.
Councilman Capillari.
Aye.
Councilwoman Abusa.
Aye.
Councilman Blake.
Aye.
Superintendent Evans Santuano.
Aye.
Resolution approved.
Thank you. At this time, I'd like to make a motion to approve Resolution 127-26-6, which is the appointment to the Zoning Board of Appeals. May I get a second on that, please?
I'll second.
Sharon seconded that. She beat me to it.
Any town board discussion?
Yeah, I'd like to comment on Colleen Hayes. When I joined the zoning board a number of years ago and was privileged to chair the zoning board, I couldn't have done any of my work with the confidence I did without Colleen. Whenever I was nervous and wasn't sure of what I wanted to say or do, I would look over at her, and there was a calming effect that she would have just from the knowledge, the processes, and just the depth of information that she was able to provide the zoning board on a regular basis. So I'm excited to see her step forward in this position, in this role, and I know she's going to be a tremendous asset to the ZBA.
And I'm actually in agreement with you, and I'm glad to have her back. Since she's retired, we miss her, so it'll be nice to see her come back a little
Agreed.
bit. So she's a good person. Okay, Alicia, may I please get a roll call vote?
Councilman Warman.
Aye.
Councilman Capillari.
Aye.
Councilwoman Abusa.
Aye.
Councilman Blake.
Aye.
Supervisor Evans Santuano.
Aye.
Resolution approved.
Thank you. Okay, at this time, I'd like to make a motion to approve Resolution 127-26-8, which is authorizing the updated procurement policy. May I get a second, please?
Didn't you skip one?
There's a reappointment.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Number 7.
Can I do that? Can I go back?
You can rescind the motion. And
Okay,
then
so I'll
move
rescind
to-
the motion to adopt Resolution 127-26-8. Sorry about that, I checked it off and didn't realize. At this time, I'd like to make a motion to approve Resolution 127-26-7, which is the reappointment to the Zoning Board of Appeals for Linda Porter. May I get a second?
I'll second that.
Thank you, Merson. Any discussion from the board?
It's a 5-year term, not a 3-year term. There's a 5-board member. If you're appointing her for a full term, it's 5 years, which would end in December 31st, 2030.
Okay, we'll make that change. So should we do a friendly amendment on that, or what do you want to, I'm not sure about that. I thought it was on there for 3 years, so how should we handle
Is it something we need to confirm, or I'm not fully familiar with the town code yet, or it's individual?
So that's something that I want to check on. I'm not quite sure.
So
It was a
there's
5-year.
two options. What you could just do is read in the extended term, read it into the record, and then vote on that. Or if you want to hold off and confirm, I don't have it before me.
I don't, you know what, I don't either, and I'm not sure. I thought it was,
It's a 5-member board,
so.
so it would be a 5-year term.
It was a 5-year term.
But
yeah.
when I
Typically-
looked at them, they all weren't 5-year terms, so
Yeah.
that's why.
So what happens
They
is
should be, if they're correct.
when it's established, they stagger. So one member for a 5-member board will be 1 year, one will be 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. I don't know where the board is presently positioned. You appointed in the previous resolution
Colleen, they appointed for 1 year.
for 1 year.
Well, that
But
must be a
that's to
remainder of a
continue
term.
an existing term
Correct.
for someone who stepped down. So
Yes.
it's likely a 5-year term. So you could just read in the amended resolution into the record, vote on that, And then when the resolution's drafted, just draft it with the appropriate term length.
Okay.
Okay.
So I'm just going to change this. Do I have to, I don't have to do a friendly, I have to do a friendly amendment?
You could just read the amended language into the record during the meeting and
And
vote
then in
on
the
it.
minutes, we
Okay.
can follow up with the correct
In the
language.
minutes, it's established,
Okay.
and then when you draft the actual paper resolution, if
Okay.
that's the town's procedure, they'll draft it with the language in accordance with the minutes.
So then I'll make an amendment for the term ending, it'll be a 5-year term ending on December 31st, 2030.
Yes.
Correct.
Okay. And then I can just get a second on that.
Second.
Thank you, Kate. Okay, any further town board discussion on that one?
Yeah, I'd like to comment on Linda Porter again. Having been on the ZBA myself, Linda was a colleague of mine on the ZBA and brings a tremendous amount of knowledge, understanding of the town of Beekman rules, regulations, the landscape. We all did this, but I took my guidance from her, actually driving to the place that we were voting on, looking at what we were supposed to vote on, from the street, not actually going onto people's properties. Some folks in the past did that, and it was an interesting outcome. But I learned a lot from Linda, and glad to see her coming back to the ZBA.
And she's fair and honest, and, I agree. So, thank you, Marson. Any other further comments? Okay, at this time, Alicia, may I please get a roll call vote?
Councilwoman Norman?
Aye.
Councilman Cavallari?
Aye.
Councilwoman Ragusa?
Aye.
Councilwoman Blake?
Aye.
Superintendent Napolitano?
Aye,
Resolution approved.
thank you. Okay, at this time, I would like to make a motion to approve Resolution 12726-8, which is authorizing the updated procurement policy. May I get a second on that, please?
Second.
Thank you, Kate. Any discussions from the board?
I have quite a few comments. First of all, why are we updating it? I mean, it seemed pretty straightforward. Now, this is quite convoluted, but can I go one by one on my questions?
Of course.
Okay, on number 2, on B, the emergency purchases, see subdivision 6B of this policy, there's no 6B. Number 2D, certain provisions.
Wait.
Could you say that again?
Professional services.
Yeah, that was,
Are you on the first page?
Yes, sir.
There's a reference to 6B?
See subdivision 6B of this policy?
Is it under a subparagraph? Because
On number 2,
yes.
number A, purchase,
Okay.
oh, no, number B, excuse me.
Letter B?
Emergency purchases, see subdivision 6B of this policy?
So my version says emergency purchases as set forth herein.
Oh, was there,
it's been
So,
updated, but
It's been updated,
The
and that's
email
what we
was
sent
sent-
you.
this is what I got today. Okay. What about,
I think you may have, I'm not sure if she's got the right one, but let's see what she says. Go ahead.
number 4? The bottom, a good faith effort shall be made. The last sentence is, in no event shall failure to obtain the proposals be a bar to the procurement. So
It's a
why,
discussion for the board.
pardon?
A few members look to me. It's a discussion
I'm
for the
actually
board of
looking,
whether or not
because Kate-
to
Oh, sorry.
maintain that language as drafted.
well, I'm sorry, it was for which part of 4?
Under number 4, the last sentence, it says, in no event shall failure to obtain the proposals be a bar to the procurement, which kind of in effect to me means if you don't pay attention to this and you don't get the proposals, you can still go ahead and do whatever you want to do.
My understanding of what that section was indicating was that a good faith effort must be made to obtain proposals as set forth in the policy. However, sometimes vendors do not always reply with a proposal. Maybe they don't want to work with us, or they don't have the capacity to. I believe that that sentence is referring to those specific situations where, due to unforeseen circumstances, not all of our selected vendors return proposals.
Well, it doesn't state that. It just says failure to obtain proposals. It says, in no event shall failure to obtain proposals be a bar to the procurement.
The prior sentence says, if the department head is unable to obtain the required number of proposals or quotations, the department head will document the attempts made at obtaining the proposals. The sentence that you are reading is specifically regarding that situation where the required number of proposals are not able to be obtained.
Which can be revised to specifically state that if the board approves it.
I think
no
that's
event
something
shall
that
the
we can
failure to
discuss at a later time, if that's okay.
That's fine.
Sharon, do you have any other questions on that?
We're going to discuss changes after we pass it?
So if they're going to be, so if the board discussion leads to revisions, then we shouldn't vote on approving it tonight.
So again, we could have, we could have discussed this before so we can get this moving because there's been a lot of emergencies with the highway trucks and stuff.
There was one emergency, which was passed. There was no problem.
Once again,
Now,
if we would have been able to discuss this prior, I think that would have been beneficial for everyone, including the and the employees. So, Mike, what are your thoughts
so
on?
if the board so chooses, someone can move and second to vote on it tonight as drafted, and it can be approved, or it can be disapproved depending on the number of members who vote for it.
Well,
Can I ask a
we
question if
discussed
we
this
add a line
before
to the
prior,
end?
so
It changes it, you can't vote on it if you add a
If you approve it as drafted, we could make a revision during the meeting if the board can agree on language to incorporate into it. There's a lot of things that we can do. It's what the board prefers to do.
well, this was something that we already agreed upon.
You
So-
agreed upon, I didn't agree
Well,
upon.
we asked you to be part of it, Sharon, but you chose to ignore me again. So I'm sorry that you did not get it, and you did get it, but you chose not to read it, and you wanted to bring
No,
it
I
up at the
did read it.
dais.
This is the
So
version I have.
again, we sent it to you.
This
And
is
we
the
said-
version I have. that I'm
But that
reading.
version is correct. That's not anything changed on that version.
Well, you just said the front page
Only
was
the,
different.
only the page you referenced before, but this page is exactly as you see it.
Okay, well,
Sorry, Maureen.
You don't need
I'm
to be
just
sorry.
getting-
It's okay. We discussed this, and it took us some time to go over this, so I think at this point, any other further
Can I just ask a
comment?
question just for clarity for me? In the event we added something to the end of that, you were saying, because I think it's important that we accept this because of that emergency situation being excessive, and that's what Maureen is trying to prevent, so people understand she's doing this to protect us. Okay, so what if we added at the end of that, provided adequate proof is provided to the end of that sentence? How does that stop us from voting on this tonight? Because it's redundant, really. It says it above, but for clarity, if you add that to the end.
So what we would do is we would propose an amendment. That amendment will be read into the record during the meeting, and then when someone chose to move, you would move on adopting the revised or as amended procurement.
But I don't
policy.
feel that we should amend it, because this is what we discussed, and,
Fine.
if one person chose not to, Merson, I'm
Agreed.
not sure what
Understood.
your
Yep.
opinion is. I asked you to, and I think you read it, so, I just want to do the right thing, but I think bringing it up at the dais, once again, in the 7th hour, when we've already discussed it and went over it with the lawyers and, back and forth.
well, I wasn't privy to the discussion.
Once again,
So
we sent
should-
you emails, and I've texted you and I called you, and you chose to ignore me. So I don't know what else to tell you, Sharon. I don't know how else to reach out to you.
I said that I would print it out, read it, and I would, yeah.
Okay, so,
So,
Does anyone else have issue with that language that was referenced earlier, that sentence?
it's fine.
It helps if the board members verbalize it. Yes or no, if you have an issue with it.
I'm perfectly okay with.
It's not a vote, it's just, for the record to develop the minutes. The language in question was read into the record. If a board member has no concern about it,
I'm comfortable with the language.
I'm fine with it.
I am as well.
Same.
So we can move forward.
you can continue with the discussion.
Sure, she-
Sharon, do you have any other
I
discussion?
do. on, just skip some of them since, what number is that? Number 7K, under leases, equipment leases are not subject to competitive bidding if the leases meet the following criteria. A, the term of the lease is less than the useful life of the equipment being leased, and B, the lease does not provide for a buyout at the end of the term. The supervisor has the discretion to require competition for such equipment leases. Is there any dollar amount on these leases? I mean, the equipment, is there a cap on this? Is it, $10,000, $100,000? What is that referring to?
That's actually a very good question. Typically, a lease is paid monthly, so the amount that's expended from the budget is typically below the normal procurement amounts for goods, which is $20,000. Anything above $20,000 requires competitive bidding.
Yep.
So that may be why it is not require a competitive bid. That's something for the board to consider if it does choose to lease equipment. I didn't draft this specific document. I reviewed it earlier. I put my comments to Mr. Arioli. We discussed it, and I know it's been before the board for about a week, so I would have to look into it further to get you an exact answer on that.
Our present procurement policy is about 3 pages. It doesn't even reference that at all. But I did see a resolution about some leases that we are not allowed to have a buyout at the end of a lease, and I believe there was a resolution to that effect. So that might be covering that. Would that fall under the procurement policy? I have the present procurement policy with me.
We do.
It's
This
3
I have
pages. It's nothing.
So the buyout may be what requires the competitive bid or further action by the board because it may exceed that amount. And again, if it exceeds the $20,000 and it's a good, which most equipment, typically if you're buying a generator, if it's a small scale generator, it's probably going to consider it lower than $20,000. However, if it's a truck that the highway department uses, it's likely to be well above that, and the buyout itself is likely to be well above that. So that may be what triggers it. But if you give me a moment and you want to discuss something else, I can get up to speed.
That'd be super.
That's fine. Sharon, do you have any other questions?
Let me see, on M. No. But on sole source, it's determined by the department head on the sole source. There were some questions on the sole source or single source procurement.
Yep. So there's no reference in the previous one. Again, looking back at the
That was
language
my point. It's
under
very
K, just
comprehensive,
to
this
bring
one.
it back, not to say it. So subsection A, the term of the lease is less than the useful life of the equipment being leased out. I don't know the ins and outs of all leases for equipment, so I really can't comment further, other than there's a lease amount you pay monthly, which again is likely below the $20,000 threshold to require competitive bidding. The second subsection B, the lease does not provide for a buyout. Again, so what you're doing is you're streamlining the procedure to lease equipment under certain circumstances. And if that lease of that equipment requires that it be purchased at the end of the lease term, then it's not covered under this section. That would require a separate resolution.
A separate vote,
The board
yeah.
would have to act and would have to follow the competitive bidding requirements of New York State.
Okay. Under O, Section 4, is that the department head shall submit to the supervisor a letter providing the information detailed in subsection C? Is that referring to emergency procurement?
What are we looking at now? Oh, what number? 5? No, that's a letter. What number?
4, IV 4?
Oh, not this one.
This, I don't know.
Unless,
I see it. If department, yeah? If the department head intends to request a sole source, it shall consider the following items.
Is that referring to subsection emergency procurements as this
That's its
outlined
own
in 7C?
category.
That's a good question. Let me, if you give me a moment, that may just be a typo from formatting within the Word document itself, but I'll identify it.
Okay.
That heat is very loud. As he's doing that, Sharon, I just want to say something to you. We really want you a part of our committee here.
I know.
But you make it a little difficult when you just, we want you to make decisions and help us and guide, you've been here a while. So, if you could maybe look at stuff when we send it to you prior to the meetings, maybe we could sit together, talk about it, and, figure it out as a group.
Well, that will be an illegal meeting.
It's not an illegal meeting if it's for me and you.
Correct.
It's going to take me more time to determine exactly what that's
That's
referencing.
okay. Take your time. Thank you.
Are you going to, just on D and G, are you going to fill those in? There's some lines that aren't the town board by mail at.
Yes, we'll
Yes.
fill that in, yep.
Okay.
Yes, and that's something that could be written in and then read into the record as an amendment during the meeting. I believe it's referencing paragraph 3, the documentation requirement under the standard bidding process, even applying to a sole source. That's the required information.
What was
So
that?
you were asking about, if a department head intends to request a sole source purchase? What were you looking for there exactly? Well, Sharon,
I asked if it said, the department head shall submit to the supervisor a letter providing the information.
wait, I don't see that. That's not on there.
What section are we in?
Number 4. 4, the department head shall submit to the supervisor a
Oh, this
letter
one.
providing the information detailed in subsection C. And I was asking what that refers to. If that refers to emergency procurement,
Okay, I see it. The letter providing the information to the subsection.
which would
C,
be,
the required sources, just shall be detailed. Hold on, I made a note about that.
So there's a bunch of information that's required during the regular bidding process, and typically it's the qualifications of the vendor, be it for goods or services, a description of the parts, prices. So just reading this on the fly here, I believe it's a cross-reference to actual paragraph 3. It may have been renumbered at some point and previously had been C, A, B, C. It is a capital. That's the best answer I have for you right now.
Okay, thank you. Any other further questions, Sharon?
yeah, number 12, we don't have a treasurer, and we're not a corporation. Well, it's corporation counsel, I guess.
That's the attorneys, so, right?
Right.
Question.
But there's no office of treasurer per se for the town. I don't know if
What
you
page
guys
is
see.
that now?
Number 12, the last one. Guidance, supervisor.
So we have a
treasurer.
bookkeeper,
You have a bookkeeper?
yeah.
Is it an employee or an appointed position?
It's an appointed, well, Linda's appointed.
Okay, so you don't have any type of comptroller or someone else who oversees
Well,
the
we
budgetary
have Tom
process?
Carey is also, who I guess what is his title?
He's a
Financial,
financial
Fin-
advisor,
financial
but he's
advisor.
only working, he's on for until February, he's on for 2 months.
Is he a contractor or is he an appointed
He's
position?
contracted.
Contract.
He's a contractor, so a contractor wouldn't go into that. It would be a designated official who oversees the town's budget, or at least, manages the town finances. So that can be omitted. Whether or not you want to appoint another board member to act in that position, that would require further work.
can we do a friendly amendment just to change it from treasurer to
Do you
bookkeeper?
even need it? You
Well,
might
you
not.
could do it in consultation with the bookkeeper.
Okay,
What are your thoughts, Marcy?
We don't need to do a friendly amendment on that.
okay. I just want to make sure it's done.
Yeah, as long as when it's written later, it's written correctly, the treasurer is removed and the correct titled person is written.
Okay,
Yeah, but that doesn't, because that's part of it's not part of the resolution, although it is, so we don't have to vote on the friendly amendment.
And the corporation counsel of the attorneys, really.
That's us, yes.
Yeah. That's
So
you
we're
guys.
like the
Yep.
corporation.
Municipal corporation, you've retained outside counsel as opposed to having an appointed town
Yeah,
attorney.
the town is technically a corporation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
so the town being a corporation, then we should be able to move on. Do you have any other questions, Sharon?
No, I think that's it.
All right, well, thank you. Okay,
Can I have the old book here?
any further? Anybody else?
Yeah, I just want to say, Gina and I did spend a good bit of time going through this document, looking at the different provisions, trying to understand the meaning. That's why when you called out that sentence, I knew right away what it was referencing, because that was something that we had discussed over the weekend. And one of the reasons why we wanted to introduce this policy was, as Gina mentioned earlier, the current policy is very short. Over the past month, I suppose month and a half, I think some of this may have predated my swearing in, but I believe there have been 2, as I understand it, emergencies. I believe one regarding highway equipment and one at the rec center regarding their facilities. The previous procurement policy does have provisions for emergencies, but it doesn't have any specific detail around it or any dollar amount associated with any purchases in the event of an emergency. And one of the specific things that we've done in this new procurement policy is identify a specific threshold relative to emergencies, which is $15,000. Above that threshold, there are additional controls that are in place, not trying to make repairs in emergency situations difficult, but just trying to monitor the budget closely and make sure that, we are choosing the correct vendors when situations arise.
Thank you, Kate.
I wanted to make a comment too, sorry, Maureen.
Okay.
In the procurement policy that was in place, it definitely left us wide open to emergencies. Sharon was talking about having a number for these items for leases. There was literally no number for an emergency. There was no consideration. It was open-ended. So somebody could say, oh, we had a $100,000 emergency. There's no monetary amount set. So it's funny that we would worry about that right now, but in here, in this 3-page document, it never covered emergencies at all. It excluded it from RFPs, bids, and consultation with the board.
And I think that's why we had the issue with the emergency at the rec with the $23,000 bill, so.
So this procurement policy, in my opinion, is very advanced. You know, little tweaks that we have to do are minor, really. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, at this time, may I please get a roll call vote, Alicia?
Councilwoman Warren,
Nay.
Councilman Cavallari,
Aye.
Councilwoman Abusa,
Aye.
Councilwoman Blake,
Aye.
Supervisor Robinson Swan,
Aye.
resolution approved.
Thank you. Okay, thank you, everybody, for your comments on that one. At this time, I'd like to make a motion to approve Resolution 127-26-9, which is the appointment to the Ethics Board. And Gina, may I please get a second?
Second.
Thank you, Kate. Any discussion from the board?
I'll just say I was new to be asked to do this. I'm happy to do it. I'll look into it. And at this moment, I will probably be abstaining from the vote.
All right, I think you're going to be a great asset. Again, you're taking the place from Councilman Lemak.
Okay.
Because the Ethics Board has to have a town board member on that. So thank you for stepping up and doing that.
Thank you.
Any other further comments? All right, at this time, may I please get a roll call vote, Alicia?
Councilwoman Warren,
Aye.
Councilman Cavallari,
Aye.
Councilwoman Blake,
Aye.
Supervisor Robinson Swan,
Aye.
I still have to abstain, though, right?
yes,
Abstain.
sorry.
Mhm.
Resolution approved.
Thank you. Okay, at this time, I'd like to make a motion to approve Resolution 127-26-10. This is the appointing Deputy Town Clerk for the Greenhaven Correctional Facility. May I get a second, please?
I'll second.
Thank you. Any town board discussion?
Can it just be added to there that there's no monetary compensation for this, correct?
That's correct.
Can we-
Yep. So this is strictly to help the clerk out so that they do not have to go to Greenhaven and,
No, I understand that, but shouldn't that be part of the resolution that there's
I
no...
don't believe it was
there's
on
no
the other one.
monetary
I don't
compens-
believe it was on the other ones going
Okay.
from prior. So there is no compensation or anything. It's strictly to help the town clerk so that she does not have to go to Greenhaven Correctional Facility. So
Okay.
the marriages, we have the in-between.
There's no budget line item in
No.
there for anything similar?
Not at all. So any other town board discussion on that one? All right, thank you, everyone. Roll call vote, Alicia, please.
Councilwoman Warren,
Aye.
Councilman Cavallari,
Aye.
Councilwoman Abusa,
Aye.
Councilman Blake,
Aye.
Supervisor Robinson Swan,
Aye.
resolution approved.
Thank you. I'd like to make a motion to approve Resolution 127-26-11, which is authorizing the supervisor to sign an agreement with UniFirst Uniform Corporation. May I get a second
I'll
on that,
second
please? Thank you, Merson. Any discussion from the board on this one?
From what I understand, the agreement with UniFirst Uniform Corporation will provide uniforms at a better quality to the departments and the department personnel at a slightly lower cost. That's my understanding, and I think it's a very worthwhile resolution to have, but also something that benefits employees during the winter months and into the summer months when, we tend to oscillate in weight. I didn't know how to say that nicely.
You did a good job.
Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you for your comments. Any other further discussion from the town board?
Yeah, Is this a new contract, or is this just the modification of the prices per unit? Because it's the same vendor, correct?
It's a new contract.
It's a new contract? Okay, and what's the term?
It's the same vendor, though, we had, right?
Do you have that one with you?
I didn't bring that one with me.
I don't have it with me, I didn't bring it.
They are
Is
the
it-
same vendor we had. They are New York State certified. They're the lowest bidders that are going to be out there anyway, and they were very happy with the product, so that's how we looked into it.
Is the term indefinite until we choose somebody else, or?
Well, the last time we had a problem because we had to break the contract, we
Yeah.
have another contract, and it was, so this is just you're saying this is a new contract with different pricing. It's,
I'm not sure I saw it. I want to say I saw that it was an annual contract. I would have to
I
check
don't
though to
remember,
be sure.
honestly. Yeah. But it was definitely saving, it was definitely a savings, and like Merson said, a better quality.
Yeah, from what I
So-
read and understood, it's a better quality product at a lower cost, which benefits the town and the individuals using it. But in terms of the length of the contract, I mean, that's something we can probably just add into the,
Friendly?
into the resolution later, right?
Well, I think she has the contract up on the supplemental
Oh,
documents.
let me check
so-
for you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, if you have a version of it, I could take a look at it.
Yeah.
Sure.
Typically, municipal contracts aren't indefinite.
Yeah, I don't think it's a
They're
material,
A definite a definite term, typically between 1 and 3 years.
yeah, again, I don't think that's a material piece of information, no
Yep.
pun intended, for the outcome of this, but
Yep.
it's good to know and enter into the record.
I don't know that it was
Okay.
like posted.
Well, that's something we can definitely look into. I think we can move forward, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, again, I don't think that's material enough that's going to halt
yeah.
this.
Thanks, Merson.
Yeah.
Thank you for your input. Okay, any other discussions from the board? All right, at this time, I'm going to ask Alicia to provide a roll call vote, please.
Councilwoman Mormon,
aye.
Councilman Cavallari,
Aye.
Councilwoman Ragusa,
Aye.
Councilman Blake,
Aye.
Supervisor Evans Antoine,
Aye.
resolution approved.
Thank you. At this time, I'd like to make a motion to approve Resolution 127, 26-12. This is authorizing the proposed senior bus trips events for 2026. May I get a second, please?
I'll second.
Thank you. That's Sharon. Any discussion from the board? I'm going to make one comment. I do go over to the rec to spend a lot of time with the seniors. Great group of individuals, and they have a lot of fun. So I think this is actually a benefit to them, to have this available to them. And hopefully, down the road, maybe we can even add some for them. But they're a great group of people, so I'm definitely for this. Any other discussion? Okay, at this time, Alicia, may I please get a roll call vote?
Councilwoman Mormon,
Aye.
Councilman Cavallari,
Aye.
Councilwoman Ragusa,
Aye.
Councilman Blake,
Aye.
Supervisor Evans Antoine,
Aye.
resolution approved.
Thank you. Okay, at this time, I'd like to make a motion to approve Resolution 127, 26-13. This is to approve the Town of Beekman budget revisions. May I get a second, please?
I'll second that.
Thank you, Merson. Any discussion from the board? Okay, moving forward. Alicia, may I please get a roll call vote?
Councilwoman Mormon,
Aye.
Councilman Cavallari,
Aye.
Councilwoman Ragusa,
Aye.
Councilman Blake,
Aye.
Supervisor Evans Antoine,
Aye.
resolution approved.
Thank you. At this time, I'd like to make a motion to approve Resolution 127, 26-14, and this would be the payment of claims. May I please get a second?
Second.
Thank you, Kate. Any town board discussion on this?
This is probably the most mundane thing on the whole agenda, but Gina and I spent, an hour, 2 hours today looking at all the vouchers, and it has been an incredible learning experience. It's really helpful to see the payment of claims and see the vouchers so that we can put the spending in context, which then ties into everything we were talking about before in terms of the procurement agreement. So I think the time on these items, mundane as they might be, is really important in terms of, making sure, again, that dollars are going to the right place and that everything is accounted for.
And I appreciate you girls doing that today, and actually you pointed out a couple of things to me too, so it was good. So I appreciate you both looking at that. Anybody else have any further questions on this? Okay, at this time, Alicia, may I please get a roll call vote?
Councilwoman Mormon,
I have to abstain. I'm not finished going over them. I'm halfway through. Yeah.
Councilman Cavallari,
Aye.
Councilwoman Ragusa,
Aye.
Councilman Blake?
Aye.
Supervisor Evanson Swana?
Aye.
Resolution approved.
Thank you. Okay, moving forward, is there anyone that has any public comments that they would like to speak on? If so, please come to the podium and state your name. Uh-oh, are you going to tell us another joke?
No, he's kidding.
I don't want that chair to go down.
Thank you, guys.
Bill Crane, 254 Gardner Hollow Road. I'm here to speak for the disabled seniors. That's a joke. Thank you. It's called a courtesy laugh. The county legislator mentioned the seniors and their housing, and it's a real need. I think watching the Bischoff Lane development, I go to the planning board meetings, and the Bischoff Lane development, if it goes through, they're making adjustments, I think, that are good ones, although I have a lot of problems with it. But anyway, to have gardens instead of athletic equipment, because seniors like to garden, and it's located, if it goes through, it's located near the Stop and Shop, and if, I don't know, in terms of grants, if they could get a path, it would be very convenient if they could work out somehow, there seems some possibilities, to get a path to the Stop and Shop, and so the seniors wouldn't have to go on the highway or have to drive or hire services, something like that. I'm glad that's being worked on anyway, because a lot of seniors need to scale down their housing, and so that's a good opportunity. Okay, you want a riddle for tonight? See if you're sharp on this cold night. You seem pretty sharp.
Go ahead, we're waiting.
Okay, you want a hard one or an easy one?
Do a hard one.
A hard one?
Oh, I need a layup today.
I was going to say the same thing after
Give me
the
a
snowstorm.
layup. Give me a layup.
You want an easy one? Okay, a frog was in the hospital and she was very sick. And she told the doctor, "I hope I don't die." But she didn't use the word die. She said, "I hope I don't..."
Croak.
Yay!
It was right there. I was ready to say it. It beat me to the punch.
You almost got it.
Almost.
Thank you.
That was the next time I'm going to give you a hard one.
Yeah.
You were first last time, too.
Thank you, Mr. Green. Yeah, that
Yeah,
was.
you're welcome. Jason, would you have gotten it?
I'm not that sharp.
I made that one up myself.
Well, it was pretty good, I have to tell you. So
I'm going to
thanks,
give you a
Bill.
hard one next time.
I'll be ready.
Probably Merson's waiting for a hard one.
We'll give him some coffee before the meeting. He'll be a little woken up.
We'll be good.
I have two things for you.
Okay, so any comments from the board? Any general board comments?
Yeah, if I may.
Sure.
Sorry, did I interrupt?
No?
Oh, okay. I just wanted to take a second to observe and comment that today's International Holocaust Remembrance Day. Today marks a significant milestone, 81 years since the Allied forces liberated Auschwitz and Birkenau, the largest Nazi concentration camp during World War II, on January 27th, 1945. Today we honor the memories of 6 million Jewish individuals and millions of other victims who endured unimaginable hardships during one of humanity's darkest periods. We pay tribute to the millions of American service members, particularly the 250,000 fallen heroes who made the ultimate sacrifice in Europe, and the American soldiers who liberated numerous concentration camps, including Dachau, Mauthausen, and Buchenwald, their bravery and selflessness inspiring hope and resilience in the face of adversity.
Thank you, Merson.
Thank you, Merson.
Gina?
Two comments. Danny could not be here, and she wanted me to let everyone know about her Super Bowl chili cook-off on February 7th. It's from noon to 3 p.m. Entrance must pre-register online. It's free to enter and vote, and it's for the best soup and chili, Merson, so I know you wanted to be a taste tester. And I am just trying to figure, I guess it's at the rec.
It's at the rec.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not on there. Okay, so, and then, I just wanted to make a comment. I know Sharon brought up the RFPs. They are not online. I checked the supplemental documents. I was thinking, why did you even question that? I'm not sure, but it was emailed to you for reference, not public.
Okay.
It's not on there. I checked with Stephanie
Okay.
while we were sitting here.
Thank
So I
you.
just wanted to clear that up.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Also, I just wanted to point out two things. Danny actually had another trivia night at the rec center, and this was the second one, and we really had a good time. It was a great event, and I highly recommend, if she has another one, that everyone should go. We came in third, woohoo! But it was great. It was a great event and great attendance. The other thing I just wanted to say thank you to all of the residents over the weekend with the snow. County Executive Serino had put out in a state of emergency, county emergency, and we had a couple of calls. And I have to tell you, there were no incidents, no accidents in the town of Beekman. So I just wanted to say thank you to everyone for heeding that, and listening to that and staying home with your families and being safe. So I just want to say thank you, and hopefully we don't have to have another one with this weather coming over the weekend, but
Yeah.
I definitely will be putting things out there. So thank you all. Any other comments?
Yeah, I'll just echo the supervisor's comments on that and extend a special shout to the highway guys. It was slippery out there, and they got it done. So, thank you.
They did. And even being in the big plow truck with Kevin, it's still slipping and sliding, but I definitely think that everyone should try to get out there and do that with them. So again, great job.
One more thing, just quickly, if I may. A few of us went to the presentation from the DEC on Grape Hollow last week. I did get a copy of the deck. I'll send it to you so that
Oh,
we can
yes,
make it
thank you
available.
for
And
bringing that
yeah,
up.
we'll make
Yep.
sure that we post it. And also, I mentioned this to you, but I don't know if I mentioned dates. We'll talk offline. But I did email Matt, who was the presenter, and ask him to come back. He said that he would be amenable to coming to either a CAC meeting or a board meeting or potentially both. His schedule's a little bit busy, so I think he was thinking March, but we'll firm it up and keep everybody posted.
Yes, and thank you for bringing that up, because that was a very, very good discussion. And, I have to say, with all of the different groups of people who were there, it was nice that everybody was very respectful of one another with their comments. And so it was a nice presentation. So something, I look forward to seeing them again. Any other comments? Okay, at this time, I'd like to make a motion to adjourn the town board meeting of January 27th. May I please get a second?
I'll second that.
Thank you, Merson. Thank you, everyone, for coming.
You have to
And,
vote, Supervisor.
I'm closing it.
Yes. And I was just going to say, sorry.
Yeah, I just want to make sure.
So thank you, everybody, for coming. Be careful. And Alicia, may I get a, all in
We
favor?
can just say all in favor.
Yeah, you could do all in favor.
Okay.
You don't need a roll call.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. All right.